Live from the Export Beer Garden studios and brought to you by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the Agenda Podcast for June the 4th.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Morning, welcome along to the Agenda Podcast for June the 4th. Myself, G Lane, Matt, Heath. We are almost halfway through the year. We're in the 6th month.
Terrifying, isn't it?
It is terrifying. Good King's birthday.
Oh, I had a fantastic King's birthday. Went along to Eden Park, watched the Blues, Chiefs. Would it kill the Blues to just keep that last try out?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, in a way, it only makes a difference because all the competition's pretty good, I guess. But it makes a big difference for the area in terms of, having home games is so huge. So you're like, come on, give the area around there, give Kingsland, give Eden Park, give Morningside a bit of a break and keep your beloved Chiefs mana out.
Well, the thing is, this brings into question the bonus point system.
Yeah.
And what is the point of it? And how did that change that game? It didn't. All it did was make the Blues feel stink.
Yeah.
About winning a game
comprehensively against a really good team.
Yeah. And they celebrated like it was a loss.
Yeah, they went off and they were very disappointed.
Yeah. So that's why the bonus point is just a bit dumb. I think
it works in competitions. I guess the idea with it is because there's a lot of meaningless games in this when you're got 12 teams fighting for 8 spots for the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's a few meaningless games that pop up here and there throughout the tournament. So is that it? Is that it? To make you just throw caution to the winds for the extra bonus point? I don't know, but it did seem like a reasonably big punishment for what was quite a good win.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know it is there to encourage more tries and, going for more points. I suppose the Blues, they're blaming themselves, really. They should have beaten the Crusaders.
That's the thing. That's what they should be disappointed about, the way they played. But it's always the case with the Blues. Love them, but there's always just something missing. There's just always some kind of killer instinct not there.
Yeah. Look, we all know it's going to be a Blues Hurricanes final in Wellington in front of a bunch of empty yellow seats. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Because if we look at how it's broken down, the Chiefs have started along. We're going to get straight into Super Rugby.
Yeah, let's get into it because it's now very exciting.
Oh, it's the gravy stroke. We're into the knockout.
The quarterfinals. There's 3 weeks of excitement.
Yeah. So we've got the Chiefs started along even my beloved Chiefs. So I'm a one-eyed Chiefs supporter. And I've just had to watch them just fart along a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that they're going to do a Crusaders and just make the top 8 and then just crush everyone. But there's also something a little bit missing about the Chiefs as well. But they're at home to the Reds on Friday night. That's the first one. Reds, mine a banana skin for the Chiefs in the last few years, so I'm a bit nervous about that. And then on the Saturday, Super Saturday, we'll get into later, but Super Saturday has the rest of the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
So in the afternoon, you've got the Hurricanes versus the Rebels? No, Hurricanes.
Hurricanes Rebels?
Yeah, which they'll smoke.
Yeah.
That'll be an absolute abomination. And then we have the
Islanders. Blues Drua.
And unfortunately, Blues at home. Drua don't tour well. That'll be the Blues. And then the Brumbies v Highlanders away in Canberra.
Yeah, that's a tough one for the Highlanders.
It is a tough one, but I mentioned this morning on Matt and Jerry's show on Hauraki, if you look at the record, they actually play pretty well. Maybe they like the adult content. We all know that Canberra is the home of Australasia's hotbed of porn, the porn industry.
Yep. And there's not a lot of it in Dunedin.
No.
I mean, there's Cleopatra's with the slide.
Yeah,
but
is that a good thing or a bad thing for the Highlanders? Does that focus them? Because they won 4, lost 4 in Canberra, which is better than a lot of teams who struggle.
Yeah. It's the age-old question about whether sexual content focuses you or distracts you.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that if you're not getting any action, you're very focused on action.
Yes.
But other sports scientists believe that it gives you the raw power and the sexual energy you need to achieve pent up sexual energy. But I mean, do we want that on the rugby field? You want 15 guys running out with a boner?
Well, otherwise you're going to get 15 guys running out there looking for a sleep. Like half of them were like,
has there been any comprehensive research with results on people that get some action before a game and don't get action before a game. What the results are like.
I'm going to throw a name out at you.
Yep.
Tiger Woods.
Yes. So much better when he was getting action.
Oh, an untold amount of action everywhere and anywhere.
Yeah.
During his purple patch.
Yeah, and then for the Masters, he shut it all down recently and he shut the bed.
Totally.
So I guess he needs to get the caravan. He needs to get Dad's caravan out.
Yep.
And, his Dad's Golf Pro caravan and just go loose.
Yeah. And these are the only scientific proof we need, isn't it? So
that's the only study that's been done is Tiger Woods.
Not official. It wasn't an official look into that.
Well, you're a sportsman to a reasonably high level in your time. You know, you played with the likes of Dan Vittori and a later Samoan international rugby player.
Yes,
who inserted your undies into your anus.
Yes.
So, you've played to a reasonably high level, much higher level than I've ever played. Did you find that if you had any sexual activity the morning of a game or the night before the game that it had any effect on your play?
Well, very much my younger years. I mean, I peaked physically and sporting-wise from the age of 17 to 19. That was my 2-year window.
That's a small window.
Yeah, and at that stage, I was dangerously randy as well. So I was looking for it anywhere and everywhere. And so, that distracted me probably from my game. But in those days, I remember going out till 4 a.m. before playing rep rugby and getting up at 9 and playing a game and getting player of the day and then going back out to the pub again.
Yeah,
you just bounce back.
Yeah, very resilient.
Yeah.
So that afternoon when you fashioned a cake of Knight's Castile soap into a butt plug, did that affect your performance at all? Was that game day?
There's a few details in that you've just elaborated on. I didn't fashion it into any sort of phallus. As mentioned, ad nauseum on commentaries, I did that out of pure concern for my partner at the time.
Yeah.
And, discussions were had about changing lanes. And, and I was kind of...
Were you instigating those discussions?
Look, it was mutual.
Yeah.
But there was obviously some hesitancy and I was like, look, I'd never changed lanes before, and I knew the golden rules. You don't change lanes without indicating.
Yeah.
So I indicated.
Yeah.
And then, there was a discussion about it. It never eventuated. But then I was in the shower, having a wash, and I had the Castile round the front, round the back, and I was cleaning the back, and I thought, you know what?
I should, I should take a walk in another man's shoes and see what it's like.
Well, woman's at this case.
Yeah, okay.
I said, well, look, let's see how, what's all the fuss is about, and whether, if I am going to change lanes, maybe I just change lanes on myself. And that's when I decided to whack it up there.
Yeah, and was that game day? Imagine if it was.
I don't think it was.
Imagine if it was a really important game, like say, and you score a century, and you've stuck a cake of Knight's Castile up your ass, and you get a terrible. You get just that becomes a superstition. That becomes your ritual. That would be interesting. There must be people out there that have those kind of rituals. They've done something quite weird and done really well. And then that's not the kind of stuff that you put in ad campaigns or you talk about with anyone you're telling interviews.
I don't think Adidas are getting behind that with some emotional...
But there'll be some weird rituals out there that people are doing, like they have to piss in someone's coffee at breakfast.
Can I just clarify, the whole bar of soap didn't go up there. I think a minuscule corner went up before I retracted immediately and then never indicated again. I was like, I got back into my lane.
And you thought, I'm happy with this lane.
I'm happy in this lane.
I'm doing well in this lane.
Yeah, I don't need to turn off at all. This lane's perfectly okay.
Yeah, imagine if, say, for example, Stephen Fleming.
Yes.
Had a really good innings and he just happened to lay an upper decker at the hotel and in the system. Yeah. And then he finds himself having to
do it every time. Yeah, that'd become problematic.
Yeah.
It would be. I'm sure there is. I'm sure people have got probably not as sick as that.
Yeah.
But there is strange ones, I'd say, that would involve cubicles.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just to calm the nerves. So, but just to go back to Super Rugby for a second, do you think...
Thanks for bringing it back.
Yeah. So who do you think is hitting the hitting the end, because I was the Hurricanes look pretty freaking good.
Hurricanes have been good all year. They did stutter for a little bit in the middle, but they rested a lot of players.
They were sort of going off for a little bit. Now they seem to be really peaking.
And they've got Amour back.
Yeah.
Safa Amour back in hooker. They missed him. They missed him massively, but there's no real weakness. Their forward pack is their backs, like they're loose forwards, and Peter Luckeye, and you've got Ned Flanders in there as well. You've got Yosse at number 8. You've got Brad Shields on the bench as well. And then you got a backline. TJ Petinata has, as much as he does everything he does for his family, he's playing pretty well.
He went off injured though. That's not major, is it?
I hope not. No. I hope not for the Hurricanes' sake. But then their backline, their back 3, Kenny Naholo. You've got Love. You've got Dr. Proctor in there. You've got Geordie Barrett in there.
As a Blues fan though, you've got to win this one when the Crusaders aren't in there, because they'll be back next year. Crusaders.
I know. There is going to be a new champion there for the first time in a Bisquillion years because Crusaders are out. I think, the Hurricanes, they're so good. But the only team that I think that can beat them would be the Blues.
Yeah.
I think that's the only team that can potentially go down there and ruffle their feathers.
Unfortunately for the Blues, that's probably going to be at the Cake Tin.
Yeah. You're going to have to root for the Chiefs, because if everything goes to plan this week, the Chiefs beat the Reds, the Chiefs then play the Hurricanes in Wellington.
Yeah.
And if the Chiefs win that, there they play the Blues in the final at Eden Park.
Yeah, that's what we need. How much did you watch how much rubbish was blowing around the park for the Hurricanes game against the Highlanders? There was so many chip packets.
This is the problem. This is the problem with the stadium like that. It's just creates a vortex of chip packets.
I've never seen so many chip packets in a professional sporting fixture.
Yeah, that's the problem with that place. The wind howls through it and causes a vortex. I mean, imagine playing.
Put a goddamn roof on it. Can I just yell back to when was that built? 1998 or whenever it was?
Yeah, or something like that.
Put a fucking roof on it.
Just put a tarp over it or something.
Yeah.
Because
that tarp though.
It'd make a horrific noise.
That'd be worse than when my mate Spooge got caught down the side of his house in that tarp. The amount of damage that tarp would do.
Imagine trying to kick a goal. Like goal kicking when you've got a vortex going through that stadium. It's just a massive lottery of where that ball's going. It could just get sucked up and disappear into the night sky.
Yeah, no, there's no other place where you see someone miss by so far, and that's just because there wasn't a gust at that point.
No, that's right. I aimed here, the vortex took it here.
You go, what are you freaking doing?
I hit a chip packet and it just dropped out of the sky. So good to see back into the gravy strokes this weekend with Super Rugby. I love this end of Super Rugby.
Yeah, no, it's 3 weeks. It's going to be bloody exciting.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back with some T20 World Cup news. And also, I'll tell you about the heater I was on the weekend. Okay, the T20 World Cup started, Matt.
Yeah, in the United States of America, of all places, there's been a slight threat of terrorist action.
Well, because it's
the India-Pakistan game.
In New York.
Yeah, 24,000 people. It's a big stadium, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's all scaffolding.
Yeah, right.
It's a total, they've just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
As only America can do, a pop-up 30,000 seat stadium. They've probably got a roof on it too. But they're sharing it at the West Indies. West Indies are hosting Barbados and everyone else is hosting, but there's games in New York and Texas.
Yeah.
It kicked off with West Indies v Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, and you go, oh my God, Papua New Guinea, what's the point? And then they nearly did it. They nearly did it. West Indies is just loves to sink to new lows, doesn't it?
Oh, I love the West Indies though, like Dre Russ and the rest of them.
They chance their arm. They're only playing one way.
That's right. And then US kicked off their campaign against Canada, and Corey Anderson got a wicket with his first ball.
Big score.
Big Corey Anderson. But so they've obviously this year with the T20 they've said, who wants to play? Anyone want to play? Anyone? And Uganda have said, yeah, we'll play.
Yeah, we'll play.
Papua New Guinea have gone, where is it? Ooh, States, I'll come.
Yeah.
So you got in our pool there is Afghanistan, West Indies, Uganda, and Papua New Guinea.
What do you know about wickets in the United States of America? You know, when you hear Afghanistan, you think maybe they're banana skin if it's an incredibly slow wicket.
Yeah, I don't know.
What are they producing over there?
I don't know, but Pakistan, India at New York is going to be an absolute screamer.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, with snipers.
Yeah.
So they've just said snipers have been called in. Where are the snipers going to be? Just everywhere.
Yeah, just...
I
went to 420 the 20th of April in Colorado.
Yes.
And they have this big event, and Snoop Dogg was playing. And all around the top of the stadium, there was just snipers. And you'd look up, and there'd be a sniper pointing at you. There was about 25 policemen on these towers with snipers.
Just looking to shoot stoners.
Yeah, because someone a few years ago, there'd been a gang breakout and, gang fight, and a gun got pulled out, and so there's just a police going... And so there's nothing quite like the residual amount of weed that was in me at that time. You're looking around, and that there's guns pointed at you with people with their finger on the trigger.
When I was in the UAE doing the FIFA Club World Cup, they were quite paranoid about security, mainly around not the players, just their own royal family.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't know that someone didn't inform me that there were snipers on the roof of the stadium. And I went up onto the roof to fix a flag or something stupid. And I went up in the roof. It was the middle of a game. And I walked straight into a little tent, a camo tent, with two nozzles sticking out of it. And I was like, and they're like something in Arabic to me. And I was like, hi guys. And they're like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, just come to fix a flag. And they're like, you better get down. I'm like, okay. So down. So these two snipers up there. And another time.
And you're in crosshairs of a number of other snipers because you're near one of their snipers. So there's probably a couple of red dots on you.
They just had sniper nests all over the roof. And I was like, Jesus Christ, no one briefed me on this. And then I also went looking for something in a cupboard down in the VIP area. And they said, oh, it's in one of the cupboards there. And I burst in, and there were 8 dudes in full SAS helmets, masks, guns, just standing there. And I was like, sorry, wrong room. And just closed the door again. I was like, can someone tell me where all these guys are hidden? Because I keep walking into guys with massive guns who look like they're going to kill me.
I saw this at the Big Day Out once in Auckland, and I was doing a radio show over there for BFM, and I went into this wrong room, and I opened it, and there was all these cops changing out of their uniform into sort of kids' pants and stuff. But they were quite big, like they didn't really look like rockers. Like one of them was putting on like a plaid shirt, the other one was putting on big shorts and stuff, and they were heading out to infiltrate the crowd.
I was thinking of which when the World Cup football was on in Germany, the All Whites got invited to come over to Europe and play a bunch of warm-up games, and they played Brazil in Geneva. And so I was living in London, and with the Beige Brigade, we brought over, I think it was like 200 people to watch All Whites Brazil, because it's a game of a lifetime, had 200. And then I got a mysterious call on my phone, and it was the Swiss police saying, can we meet up, blah, 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 what's your intentions while in Geneva? And I'm like, what the fuck? Because I'd heard that there was a fan group of 200 turning up, and immediately in Europe, a fan group of 200 means violence or something. So anyway, they say, where are you meeting before the game? We just want to make sure you're okay and you're safe. It's obvious they were just there to spy on us.
Yeah.
And they said, can we buy one of your supporters' shirts? So we were on Beige Brigade cricket shirts at a football game. And so these guys were huge. They were like these Swiss kind of SAS dudes. They turned up, stuck out like dog's balls, shaven heads, like just big. And we gave them the smallest beige tops you'll ever see. Like it was like a crop top like this, and then the sleeves were up here, and they were like, Dunker, like, at the back of the group. And then they come across us, and they're just like, immediately they went, these guys are not going to be causing any trouble at all. Like, there's 200 Kiwi wounders in beige shirts.
Yeah, it's a sort of different level of hooliganism. Like, the New Zealand football fan is not a troublemaker.
Everyone was so hungover because we got first night fever that we were behind the goal. We weren't even making any noise. Everyone was just like trying to get through some beers so to get themselves back into the groove. But it was just this dull silence and a couple of people like throwing up from the night before. Just total own goal. But it was a terrible effort from them. But
speaking of the T20 World Cup, so ACC doing live commentary of the All Blacks games, the Black Caps games at the T20 World Cup on Sky Sports 9. Yeah,
that's right. So we're into it again. We did the one in Australia a few years ago, but kicks off this Saturday for the Black Caps, and this is what Super Saturday is, because 11:30 a.m. this one kicks off against Afghanistan, and it's good. It's about 3.5 hours the game, so it's a good effort. But then straight after that, we're into afternoon footy with the Hurricanes versus Rebels.
How good!
And then we are into the Blues versus Drua. And at the same time as the Warriors playing at 7:30, and then straight into 9:30 for Brumbies versus the Hurricanes. So we're covering up until we're not covering the Brumbies game against Highlanders, but we're doing the rest of them.
Right.
So Super Saturday is going to be intense. So I'm not sure how we're going to get through it. We're doing sport from 11:30 till 9.
Wow.
So all on Sky Sport 9. I believe the league is going to be on Sky Sport 6. And that is the Warriors versus... who's that one versus?
Eels.
Eels.
Yeah.
Oh, is that this weekend?
Cowboys. Oh, Cowboys.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, Cowboys. Jesus.
So, yeah, it's going to be all go there this Saturday for Super Saturday. Other news, Scott Dixon. It's quite funny with Scott Dixon and the IndyCars because all the chat has been around Scott McLaughlin.
Yeah.
And also Marcus Armstrong, the other Kiwi in there, is the young Kiwis. And the old veteran, Scott Dixon, has come back. He's won the Detroit Gran Prix, his 58th career win. I think he's only a 10 or so away from becoming the most successful IndyCar driver. What are the chances of us having 3, New Zealand,
I know.
having 3 IndyCar drivers?
Yeah.
And all relatively competitive.
And a very American thing.
Yeah, there must be millions of Americans trying to crack that league.
Do we just have kick-ass go-kart tracks? Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Is that because we can get on our go-kart tracks? Maybe they're too busy over there or something.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's pretty impressive that we've got Dixon, McLaughlin, and Marcus Armstrong.
It's fantastic.
In there. And then
That becomes what are our sports now? Obviously yachting, rugby,
motor racing.
rowing, motor racing.
Yeah.
And all sitting down.
And Van
Except for
Gisbergen.
rugby, all sitting down.
Remember, Van Gisbergen is over there in the, what's he driving, the V8s? Was that a NASCAR? NASCAR? Yeah, the IndyCar and NASCAR. He's in the big bangers, fanging it around in America as well. Also, news out of tennis. You're a big tennis fan? You're not a big tennis fan,
Not
Joe?
a big tennis fan.
He claims his 370th Grand Slam win. He didn't win. It's games, by the way.
Yeah.
Not actual
Yeah.
tournaments.
That'd be difficult to win 370 Grand Slams.
Yeah, that would be. That would be. But he's the last of the old guard left standing, really, because old mate got knocked out in the first round. Nadal.
End of an era.
That's right. And also in golf news, did you follow Ryan Fox?
Yeah.
After 2 days, after 2.5 days out there in the Canadian Open, he was leading by 4 shots. He was like 16 under, and it was like,
Yeah.
I love watching Ryan Fox because when he tees off, his legs are all askew, like he's got his motor hanging out, and they never want to show him. They'd rather show like McIlroy choke for the 10th
It's so
time.
frustrating. I was watching that at the gym, and I was just like, put bloody Ryan Fox on, you assholes.
He's leading by 4 shots.
Just put him on the fucking screen.
Because then you got Rory just farting around like Rory McIlroy. I mean, come on. I like the guy, like he looked great on full swing, but he just leaves his run always to the last round and then always falls short.
Yeah.
So do that on day one, mate.
Yeah.
But unluckily for Ryan Fox, the last 26 holes were a bit of a shitter. He came tied for 7th in the end.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the conversation.
Absolutely.
It's only a
in the
matter of time
conversation.
before something really spectacular
Yeah,
happens.
hasn't had a debut win in the PGA. Obviously in the DP World Tour, he's cleaned up. But love Foxy. I love watching him play. Gilbert Anoka, former mental skills coach for the All Blacks, has now gone over to try and help New South Wales with the State of Origin that's kicking off tomorrow night. They're going to need more than Gilbert Anoka. I'm sorry, the Blues. They're coming up against Queensland. They're having a bit of a shocker. But after 20 years at the All Blacks, they brought him over. Mind you, they took him over to Premier League, and I think he had some sessions with Chelsea.
Yeah.
And Chelsea sucked. So I don't know if he's the silver bullet for New South Wales. But ACC are covering that. Di Henwood and Ben Hurley at 10 o'clock on Wednesday night have got you covered for State of Origin. Game 1 on Sky Sport 9. We're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back with Yours Please.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
Of course, this is the chance to leave your message on the iHeartRadio app. Press the little mic button. Most people ring up and scream, fuck South Canterbury and abuse Mania. Mania's not here. He's in Bali. So
I saw some pictures of him in Bali with Keezy and such. It looks like a good time.
He's just gone straight into the kind of Western Australian bogan bucket hat wearing tourist, hasn't he? He just needs a bit more ink. He hasn't got enough ink on him.
Yeah, where is all Manai's ink?
I don't know, but if he wants to fit in with all the miners over there, he needs to get more.
You got to
ink.
go right down to the sleeves. Maybe something on the hands.
Yeah.
Definitely something on the neck.
Yeah, definitely something.
Something meaningful written on your neck.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like Satan or something.
Yeah, something like that. Or
Righto, first one, yours, please.
Fozzie here from the 09. Love the idea for a Champions League format for the rugby. I absolutely agree with that. The other thing that you did miss there is imagine how good it would be being able to support a team that's actually local to you that then goes over and plays the Aussie teams. Might get some fan engagement because who from far north's coming down to support the Blues regularly? It's just not possible. Anyway, Uru.
Oh, that was it. That was what we were talking about on Friday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a suggestion of having a
Champions
local league and then having a Champions League to play those ones.
I think that's the way.
Yeah.
Although it was interesting with all that, with all that really boring admin and votes and stuff around the
governance admin
RNZ,
last week was heavy.
Like classic. I read this great article in the Bounce from Dylan Cleaver just talking about how much time is spent on talking about code that's about things like that. When people talk about rugby, that's what they're talking about. We're talking about governments. We're talking about problems with the game. But there's a possibility that it would be quite a good thing if the Players Association just took Super Rugby away and so the all the rugby RNZ, that's a radio station.
Rugby union.
Yeah, rugby union. If they just ran NPC and All Blacks, and you had someone else cut through and really compete with the NRL, then that would be the way to go, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think if they do it, it has to be a clean break, I reckon.
Yeah, that's what I mean. A completely clean break where they're competing with the NPC and they're also competing with the All Blacks. They're just running a competition hard. I mean, that's the only way Super Rugby can really succeed. And if they're not going to do that, then I reckon, you have the NPC leading into a Champions League.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
The silence is deafening after that vote.
Yeah.
You not think? Like, I've tried to understand it, and I tried to explain on this podcast numerous times to anyone who would listen what I thought was happening.
Yeah.
Which I think was relatively accurate. I probably missed out some details. And I thought it was going to be like apocalyptic.
Yeah.
The vote, the provincial union said, nah, we're taking it over. And the Players Association threatened we're out if that happens.
Yeah.
And nothing happened.
Yeah.
So,
in fact, complete silence, as you say. It's a vacuum.
So what's happening? Are they massing the forces?
Did people call people's bluff?
I don't know. Are they gathering? Are they gathering somewhere and then they're going to just invade the?
So is the players getting together? Rob Nickel getting?
Are they waiting to the end of Super Rugby?
They're getting $100 million together to start their own tournament. I mean, what's going on there?
Maybe they're waiting to the end of. Maybe they don't want to disrupt Super because it would take all the headlines away from the gravy end of Super Rugby. It would be a real arsehole move. But they decided to do the vote a week before the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, the report came out in August last year, and then they decided to do it not, like in a break over, in December or something.
Yeah.
No, they're like, no, let's do it. Let's have, in the middle of Super Rugby, let's have us talking about admin.
And
fans, the administration of the game.
Fans fucking love admin. I fucking love just hearing about provincial unions and their plans for the game. It just gives me the biggest
We've all got our favourite board members. You got the T-shirts. There's so many memes. That's what people are freaking talking about.
Oh, totally.
How is the game going to be administered? That's what we fucking love.
Anyway, we've got a few more of these to get through. Caller, yours, please.
G'day, lads. I've gone down a female golfer rabbit hole.
Oh, God.
You guys heard about Paige Renee? Get into some of that. Jeez.
Oh, okay. I don't know if this is a setup for me to search it on my phone, but Paige Renee.
Paige Renee.
Okay. All I get is Paige Spiranek, which is quite something else. Jesus.
Oh, Paige Renee. Yeah, she pups. I follow something called. Oh, hang on. No, I'm seeing. Paige
no, it's Spiranek. It's Spiranek. It's her maiden name.
Oh, yeah.
Is that her changed name? Oh, yeah, and I'm all over Paige Spiranek. Great golfer. Yeah. Great swing.
She pops up a lot on Golf Huns.
Yes. Yeah. There's also the LPGA pole smoking one.
Jesus, Paige Renee. Paige Spiranek.
Spiranek. Yeah. I mean,
holy moly.
Yeah. Look.
Yeah. See, that's what that is. That's catering to Men.
It's also entrapment as well.
Yeah.
It's massive. He can't believe he made us do that because I thought you were talking about someone different, but I know exactly who Paige Spiranak is. Anyway, next caller, yours, please.
Ruth.
Hey boys, this is Humongous. Would it cool to post the New Zealand cricket team's schedule on social media? Would it kill you? And the game versus Port Moresby at 2 a.m. I'd be down to commentate that if that's on the table. And up the wires, fuck South Canterbury, and peace out, bye.
Okay, so it was quite frantic, that message, and quite quick. But what I gathered from it is, can you put the schedule out for the Cricket World Cup? Yes, we will.
Yeah.
All the games are either 11:30 in the morning or 2:30 in the afternoon, except, and this is pool play, except one game, which is the Papua New Guinean game, which is at 2:30 a.m. Now,
right. So that's confusing, isn't it?
Yeah, so what
I mean, that's at the other end of the spectrum.
It is. And what I've suggested is potentially, look, I don't know if we can be bothered coming in to commentate that one. So whether what we do is we'll leave the phone lines open and people can commentate at home.
Yeah.
So, we'll just put it, you watch at home and you just open up the phone line and we'll just put you out on Sky Sport 9.
Yeah.
Just because, that's quite an unhealthy hour to get up, 2:30 a.m.
Can the ACC listeners be trusted to just keep it clean?
Definitely not. Definitely not. Especially the way he ended that call.
Yeah.
And especially his name.
Yeah.
Hugh Normus. Was
Yeah.
it? Anyway, Humongous.
Yeah.
Don't know about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, next one. Yours, please.
Hey boys, this is Humongous. Would it cool to post the New Zealand cricket?
Oh, you get out of here, Humongous.
Humongous coming back.
Okay.
Double dipping, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
That's it. We've done it.
He came back and he double dipped.
He double dipped, didn't he? Of course he did.
Selfish.
Yeah.
Exciting though. I'm excited about I'd love to be over there. It'd be so good to be watching cricket in Texas and in New York.
How good would it be go to New York and go to cricket? It'd be kind of weird.
I mean, we haven't talked about it, but I know we're coming to the podcast. I'm sure we'll have time to talk about it in the future. But Americans don't understand cricket at all, and it perplexes them, and it kind of aggravates them. Because they're like, why is the pitcher running across the field like that?
Yeah.
Like, why can't he just stand on the spot and throw it?
Well, has he got pads?
Why some people got pads, some people don't? How come some people have helmets and some people don't?
No one's got gloves.
Yeah, it confuses the living hell of them. Why are they way out in the middle of the field?
I think they're potentially just appealing to the 10 million Indian expats that live over there.
Exactly. I mean, there's probably a bigger population than Australia for them to hit, in America in terms of cricket.
Are the Indian nation the biggest exporter of nationality? They are. They're great.
Yeah.
Just adapting and going anywhere in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
And having a massive supporter base. They could go to anywhere.
Yeah.
And they would have 30,000 people watching their team.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the case for New Zealand.
No,
we don't export enough people. I mean, maybe in Shepherd's Bush, you could probably get a few Kiwis turning up.
Is that still a thing, the Shepherd's Bush? Now they took down the outback there? I don't know.
No, Shebo's not the same as it used to.
I think it's been gentrified.
Oh, has it?
Shebo.
People are over in Hammersmith at the old shit, aren't they? These days?
Yeah, the old shit. And then down in Peckham as well, down in southeast London, where it's a bit more affordable.
Yeah.
Anyway, we might not be in tomorrow because I'm getting the ass man's climbing into my ass tomorrow.
Oh.
I hate this podcast. It's a little bit ass focused.
Yeah.
But I asked you for some advice this morning because I'm about to drop the laxative.
Yeah.
And it says that you should be at home when you do it.
Yeah.
And close to a toilet.
Yeah.
And I'm planning on being at work and quite a distance from a toilet.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 90 seconds from a toilet's a good move.
90? Do you need, if you've got quite strong sphincter control, can you keep it out?
It's different. I mean, God, I've got some audio of it here if you want to hear it, of what happened with me.
Okay.
Might be a bit much.
No, play it because I'm going to see if I can match that. But tomorrow I've got they're setting the full camcorder GoPro up there to have a look around.
It's just when it comes out in a way that you're not used to. I mean, here
is the description bum wheeze? Is that the
right? Well, let's listen here. This is me. So I'd taken all the laxative a colonoscopy, and it just comes out sounding so different than anything's come out that passage before.
Oh. That little, still going. God, stop it. Jesus, that's...
So it's so different from anything you've experienced. And you just feel...
That's so much worse than I remember. I think because I never listened to all of it, you played it and I went... like the little pump in the middle.
I know. And there's just no resistance.
You changed gears in the middle.
So
you were in third and then you went down to second.
So if you think that you can control that, then it's not controllable in the way that
as soon as it opens,
your systems that are in place to stop
Yeah.
stuff coming out, they are ill-equipped for what's coming.
oh my God, okay. Well, that's going to be interesting for my colleagues at work here.
Yeah.
Because if that comes out in my seat,
Yeah.
you can't stop it, can you?
No, but you feel it coming. Like it's
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, I did it. I did the Matt and Jerry show with it coming, and then
How long does it take from ingestion to evacuation?
well, you keep ingesting the stuff every half hour. You got to
Yeah.
take more stuff. Nothing, and then a lot. It's hard to say. It was like I felt quite safe for quite a while, and then it was just not safe.
Okay.
But then I
Okay.
tell you what, the drugs very good.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
So might depending on if I shit my pants today, we might not have an agenda tomorrow, but we'll have a super agenda Thursday.
Yeah.
In the lead up to the weekend of sport. But that'll be it for the day.
All right then.
We'll catch you later.
Okay.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.